Take this part of the video as a public service announcement. This is April 2026, and as of making this video, the world is in a massive crisis. Fuel prices have increased and the situation is really unstable, so I highly recommend you to triple think before making any purchase and hold on to your money as long as possible. You should only think about purchasing any of my recommendations only if you have plenty of excess to take care of yourself and your family, especially in this time of crisis. With that said, let's start with the video. Today we are taking a look at the Sony 40mm F2.5 G lens. This is one of the 3 compact lenses announced back in March 2021 with the release price of $599 US. Now, after half a decade, you can get a new copy for $499 US and a used copy for roughly about $300 US. Yeah, it seems like I have a habit of making videos of old lenses. Recently, I made a video on the nearly a decade-old 100 to 400mm G Master lens. I highly recommend you to check it out. All of my lens videos are not exactly reviews, rather, in these videos I share my experience after using them extensively over a reasonable period of time. I've been using this 40mm f2.5 G lens for just over 4 months and I felt I should talk about this lens. It helped me to capture these 1-second slow shutter speed shots handheld. Yeah, that's right. 1 full second handheld sharp photos on a full frame camera. More on that later in this video. Also, I hope you will not ask me to compare this 40mm G lens with other third-party 40mm lenses. I don't have those and I don't think those manufacturers will provide me with a review sample. I have several G Master lenses, and so the 24mm and 50mm lenses among the G Prime trio were not interesting to me. These compact prime lenses go well with compact cameras like the A7C II and A7CR, delivering close to G Master lens quality at a ridiculously small footprint. The 40mm f2.5 lens piqued my interest as it gives a consistently unique field of view for my photos when I feel like traveling light. Pairing it with my A7C II replaced my all-time favorite Fujifilm X100VI. Recently, I was going all in on carrying only compact cameras and lenses until I started to miss my 24mm f1.4 G Master lens. Also, after trying the 100 to 400mm G Master lens, I am hooked into capturing quality photos and videos over the weight of the gear. I will talk more about my recent gear choices in a future video. For this video, let me share my thoughts on the 40mm f2.5 G lens and the reasons why I sold it. That is also the reason why you may not see a lot of B-roll footage of this lens in this video. Build quality of this lens feels premium. It reminds me of one of those all-metal premium Fuji lenses. It is also completely weather-sealed, making it a decent lens to carry around on beaches and in slight rainy conditions. It weighs only about 175 grams, barely adding any weight to the kit. I had it on my A7C II pretty much all the time. The 40mm f2.5 G lens is plenty sharp in most cases for subjects closer than 5 meters from the lens. When compared with the 28 to 70mm f2 G Master lens, both lenses at f2.5 seems to produce really sharp images, as you can see from the pores on the face. Of course, you can instantly notice the difference in contrast levels between the images. The photos from the G Master lens have a bit more contrast than the G lens wide open. It is nothing far from the expected results, but the pleasant surprise is that the photos from the G lens are really comparable to the photos from the G Master lens in these situations. If I were shown these photos without any information, I would assume these were shot using the same lens. For faraway subjects, that is for landscape photos, the G Master lens shows its advantage over the G lens and the difference between these two lenses are super evident. Wide open, the G Master lens has sharp corners to corners from f2. At f2.5, the G Master lens is much sharper than the G lens at the center and at the corners of the photo. It almost looks like the G lens is out of focus, but after double checking the results, the focus is spot on, but the lens is just soft wide open for landscape photos. Closing down the apertures at f4, both lenses produce sharper images than wide open apertures. The photos from the G lens still look much softer than the G Master lens. At f5.6, the G lens is starting to produce sharp, usable photos. Stopping down to f8, the G lens produces really sharp photos comparable to the G Master lens, just like we saw earlier for the closer subjects. The corners are a bit softer on the G lens photos, but I am really pixel peeping here. Same is the case at f11. The sharpness is excellent in both these photos, with the G Master photo being a tad bit sharper at the corners. From f13 to f22, the sharpness drops gradually for both these lenses as expected. I have attached the Google Drive link for these sample photos in the description down below, so feel free to download these photos and compare them yourselves. Mind you, I'm comparing the 40mm G lens with the G Master lens just to show you the relative sharpness and contrast of the lens. Also, this comparison perhaps helps you to better understand the behavior of the lens from the MFT charts, as what the chart shows is exactly what we can observe from these sample photos. Most people would be very happy with the quality of photos produced by the 40mm f2.5 G lens. I find the bokeh quality of the 40mm lens to be of a mixed bag. But honestly, I like the bokeh produced by the 40mm lens most of the time. There are certain instances where the bokeh balls are weird and undesirable. Speaking of which, the close focus distance of this lens while focusing manually is 0.25 meters, and when autofocusing it is 0.28 meters. I like taking photos of food at close range, and autofocus areas in these scenarios are mostly distracting. I will also talk about the ideal use case of this lens from my experience in the conclusion section of this video. I mostly use my Sony cameras with in-camera corrections turned on, so I really don't see much distortions and almost no chromatic aberrations from this lens, wide open or not. Flaring is very well controlled, as you can see from these photos. I certainly enjoy taking backlit photos with this lens with no flaring issues. Should I even talk about the autofocus on this lens? A lens has enough motors to drive the lens elements to keep the subject in focus for videos and photos. In simple words, it does the job being snappy for focus acquisition and sticky enough without pulsing. Only during extreme close-up shots, I would use manual focus just to get even closer to the subject. Otherwise, autofocus does the job. I still remember to talk about my slow shutter experience with this lens. You see, I like to shoot slow shutter shots, especially when people are around. It somehow brings the photos to life with the motion blur of the unimportant subjects in the frame. With the 40mm f2.5 G lens and the Sony A7v combo, I was able to achieve slow shutters as low as 1 second consistently for these frames, keeping the ISO to the minimum. I was astonished by these results. A full-frame camera achieving this is a dream come true. I wasn't able to get the same results with my 28 to 70mm f2 lens. I was only able to go as low as 1/6 of a second consistently with this G Master lens while still getting sharp results. Perhaps the combination of weight of the lens and the lack of complex lens elements helped me to achieve those long shutter shots with the 40mm G lens. I don't want to speculate here. I'm merely sharing my experience. Overall, I was happy using this lens, and I think it deserves a spot somewhere in the corner of the camera bag for the days when light gear might save the day. It is the lens that most light gear loving hobbyists might use 80% of the time. Despite all the praises, why did I sell it? I just didn't feel like I would use it, as I've been juggling between my 24mm f1.4 and 28 to 70mm f2 G Master lenses. I have had long-term experience of letting lenses collect dust in my cabinet, but this time I decided to find a better home for my lens where it might be used more often than I would ever do. Well, that's all there is to talk about this lens. This lens excels in shooting subjects that are not too close or not too far. The bokeh balls and autofocus areas might be distracting at times. Given that this lens has one of the most versatile focal lengths, weighing less than 200 grams, built like a tank, completely weather sealed, and is more than capable of producing social media worthy content, I should say the minor flaws I mentioned earlier can be forgiven. I do recommend this lens for those who like it. But again, please triple think of your purchase decisions during this time of crisis. Please hit like if you like this video and subscribe to our channel for more such content. See you in the next video. Peace.